Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Spokane Plan Commission meeting for Wednesday, July 26, 2023. This is a special hearing today because it is a joint hearing with the Department of Ecology with regards to Shoreline Master Plan Code update. We're talking about fish rearing today. So with that, we're going to do roll call first, and then I'm going to read some rules.
Michael Baker.
Here.
Jesse Bank. Todd Baybrother.
Here.
Greg Francis.
Here.
Chris Neely. Ryan Patterson.
Here.
Carol Shook.
Here.
Tim Williams.
Here.
Cliff Winger.
Here.
And Christopher Britt. All right, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Okay, the following rules of decorum will be followed by the public during these hearings. Please silence your cell phones when entering council chambers. No clapping, cheering, or booing. No public outbursts. We will have time limits on public comment. In the past, we've always done 3 minutes, but I've allowed it to go over a little bit. So we're going to say just 5 minutes and just be done with it. All persons and or commission members shall wait to be recognized by the president before speaking. Persons testifying are asked to avoid repetition and limit comments to specific project and code compliance. Each speaker shall follow all instructions from the president so that their remarks may be heard, understood, and recorded. All comments to the Plan Commission shall be directed to the secretary to be appropriately entered into the public record. This includes oral, written, and email comments. No modes of expression not provided by these rules, including but not limited to demonstrations, banners, applause, profanity, vulgar language, or personal insults will be permitted. In the event such disorders persist, the president may require the removal of the instigators, recess, or adjournment the meeting. With that, we will go ahead and proceed. Again, tonight's hearing is regarding the Shoreline Master Plan Code update for fish rearing with Terrell Black and Tyler Kimbrell. I invite you to present.
All right. Thank you, Commission President. My name is Tyler Kimbrell. I'm Planner to the City of Spokane. We'll be presenting on the Shoreline Master Program aquaculture updates. We came to you July 12th in a workshop.
Oh, make sure you speak into the mic. You're getting the...
And then we came to you July 12th for a workshop to discuss this. Now we are following up with the public hearing. A quick overview. We put out a notice of intent to adopt in SEPA June 14th, and since then, determination of non-significance. As I said, we had the July 12th Plan Commission workshop. We are currently in a 30-day comment period, and this is a joint comment period. Oh, yep. I need to share my presentation. 1 second.
Did that
Sorry.
answer your question, Carol? Thanks.
Her hand went down.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. We are currently in a 30-day public comment period, and this is a joint comment period with Ecology. We will be aggregating those comments and presenting them to Council and to Ecology for their approval. And then in September, and then following late September, this will go through the Council process. So committee presentation, first reading, second reading, public hearing. We also are required to have a determination of consistency from Ecology. So that is why this is the joint Ecology hearing, because we need that to kick off the process so that they can determine consistency with their Shoreline Master Program. So quickly, Project purpose, so the SMP Shoreline Master Program currently does not allow aquaculture uses. It stated in the last update that if we needed to amend the Shoreline Master Program to include aquaculture uses, that we would do so when need be. So now is the time. Coeur d'Alene Tribe has acquired property on Lake Talk Creek for a fish rearing facility. And this is a prolonged effort to reintroduce salmonid species into the Spokane River. This is the location of the proposed project. While this is not a part of the code amendments, just for clarity and why we initiated these updates, this is where the fishing facility will be located, and that is the Cheney Spokane Road interchange that's circled, and the star is the parcel. The proposed amendments, they're amending the use category description for agriculture to include fish rearing facilities, and that is on page 38 of your packets. Amending the aquaculture section in the SMP to include the definition of aquaculture and allowed uses and locations of aquaculture facilities, and that is page 39 of your packets. And then in the SMP shoreline use categories, allowing or permitting aquaculture facilities in urban conservancy and natural environment designations on page 41 of your packet. And there was specific questions at the workshop in regards to the acronyms that are used in that use description table, and those were also provided in the staff report, a full detailing of all of those that are located in the comprehensive plan. And that's all I have for you. Thank you.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay. With that.
Looks like Carol has a question. Sorry.
Oh, okay, Carol. Commissioner Shook.
Thank you. I'm wondering, this may not be the right time, but will the authorization of the aquaculture food that's being produced, the fish that's produced, will they have a nutritional value listed for the food from where it's harvested?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Shook, could you repeat that? I didn't quite catch the last bit.
So I'm wondering there about the nutritional value of from the foods that will be harvested from the fish that will be grown there. Will there be a nutritional value on their labeling?
I don't believe that these fish will be used for any sort of commercial processing, but I think we have some speakers here that may be able to provide clarity to that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Is there a representative from the applicant here that would like to address that question? It's really kind of outside the scope of what we're doing today.
You have to go.
Can you come up to the? Okay, how about you address it in your public comment? Okay. Okay, so Commissioner Shook, they're going to address it within the public comment piece. Any additional questions before we go to public comment? Okay, hearing none, we are going to go ahead and go to public comment, and we will start with Mr. Matheson.
Gestuan de Dakking, Chinitos Quistelman, Quiquatamiculum Questitsumsh. Mr. President, Commissioners, it's an honor to be here. I appreciate you guys' time and attention to this matter. My name is Kaj Matheson. I'm a tribal council member with the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, and actually was intimately involved in the acquisition of the property that was talked about earlier. And I'm just going to make my comments kind of at that 30,000-foot level today. Obviously, we are in support of this change. Our desire and our goal from the Coeur d'Alene Tribe really is to see the reintroduction of salmon into this region for the benefit of all people. We've been very, very clear and very, very vocal about that. We understand that the benefits of being able to have facilities like this to support salmon reintroduction have enormous cultural and identity implications for our tribe and for other regional tribes, but will also have very important economic impacts to the region as well as such an important resource that once really was vital and did have a strong economic bearing into the region are reintroduced. And so we look at it really as a win-win for everybody. Our goal, obviously, we want to be able to do things like protect the water resources. We want to be able to make sure that we protect as much as we can moving forward, and while at the same time being able to do things like salmon reintroduction. So that's a really important value to the tribe. We've been heavily involved in salmon reintroduction in all the different regional forums, participating at great depth, whether we're talking about some of the litigation and mediation processes that are happening, the Columbia River Treaty and other processes. We've been very, very involved in that. In fact, Tom Bilodeau, who will get up here shortly and speak, has been one of our primary technical representatives at this level. And so we view this particular property as being critical and essential in the overall picture and scheme of salmon reintroduction. And so we're in support of that. We would love to see you guys to be in support of that as well. And we're really here to answer any questions that you guys might have about the tribe or what we're intending to do as the applicant. With that, I'll stop my comments, and if you guys have any questions of me.
Since they are the applicant and public comment, I mean, if you do have a question directly for him, that's fine.
Thank you for sharing. And has the process been really positive with all stakeholders to this point?
Yeah, so it's kind of an interesting thing. Salmon reintroduction in the entire region is complex because you can be talking about, for example, how are we going to get salmon above the federal dams on the Columbia main stem, or you could be talking about, for example, let's get rid of the lower Snake River dams, which is not what we're talking about. And so one of the challenges that we've had over the years is being able to help individuals understand that we're not talking about removing dams. What we're talking about is let's get our best scientists and minds together to figure out a solution that allows us to have the good energy that the dams provide, whilst at the same time being able to get our fish back too. And it's possible if we give them the resources to make it happen. And so over the past couple of years in particular, as we've been very intentional about that, we've had a lot of positive support from so many different interest groups across the entire scope. So we've been very happy about that and excited about it, quite frankly.
Awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next to testify, I will mess it up, I guarantee it. I'm known for that. Mr. Bilodeau?
That's very good, yes. Thank you. Thomas Bilodeau, Anadromous Division Lead for the Coeur d'Alene Tribe. Thank you all for having this on the agenda. Thank you, Terrell and Tyler, for working with us to process this amendment. I do want to bring it down a little lower in elevation and talk about the function of the facility, what we hope to accomplish with it, and why we're doing it. Kaj talked quite a bit about the program at all, the reintroduction effort. In order to assess success of reintroduction, we need fish to be able to get information from. And that's the idea. This facility would provide a means to grow fish that would be used for the next couple of decades, most likely, to be able for us to come to conclusions about how reintroduction could proceed forward and do so efficiently, effectively, and cost effectively as well. And so this facility, or this location for this facility, actually achieves a number of goals, not just fish production, but it also sits right in the heart of where salmon used to return to the Spokane Basin. Hangman Creek drains in just below Spokane Falls, which is a huge fishery for the tribal communities that were here. And Hangman Creek especially used to be a really productive system. And so it's meeting these goals on a cultural level, historical level, and this scientific feasibility study that we want to do. But before I get further in this, I do want to address the question from Commissioner Shook. And the idea, yes, it is true, it is not a commercial fish production facility. That is not the intent. The intent is to produce juvenile salmon that would go in the river, make their way to the ocean, and return as adults so we can gather information on those fish. Recognizing that this is probably a fairly long process to get enough information to move forward to see what full-scale reintroduction would be like in the watershed. And we do see an opportunity for this facility to support full-scale reintroduction when we get to that point. This is a coordinated effort. It's not just the Coeur d'Alene Tribe that are implementing this. This is a coordinated effort with the Spokane Tribe of Indians, the Confederated Tribes of the Colville Reservation in the state of Washington, and now the city of Spokane. And we welcome, of course, to have as much input and even more than we've already had in cooperation and moving forward on this process. And I would take any questions as an applicant as well, if anybody has any.
Any questions?
Thank you.
I think it's great. Thank you. Okay, those are the only two individuals I have signed up to testify. Is there anyone online that was wanting to testify? Are there any others in the council chambers? Okay, hearing none, I am going to close public testimony and we will move into making a motion and then deliberations.
I'd like to move that we recommend approval of the proposed text amendments in all three sections, SMC 17E 060470, 17E 060690, and 17C 190-500.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Commissioner Patterson and Commissioner Baker. With that, let's go ahead and begin deliberate or discussion on this amendment. And
I just simply say excited to have a tiny little role in it.
I concur. I think it's great to, the idea that we could do something like this within the Spokane city limits and, utilizing part of, I like the fact that you called it Hangman Creek. I appreciate that. So I don't like Latah Creek for some reason. Anyway, this is the opportunity to have this within our city so that we can hopefully improve our salmon population without the dams. Not without the dams, but with the dams. So, do we have any other comments, discussion? All right. Hearing none, I think we are ready to move on into a vote.
Okay. Michael Baker,
Aye.
Todd Bayreuther,
Aye.
Greg Francis,
Aye.
Ryan Patterson,
Aye.
Carol Shook,
Aye.
Tim Williams,
Aye.
Cliff Winger.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. And I guess I do have one question before we adjourn. Mr. Sykes, would you like to say anything from Department of Ecology at all?
Hello, all. I don't have anything to share. I'm also looking forward to this, excited about, I think, the language that's being proposed is something we're really comfortable with. It's actually based on language that we provided to staff that we approved elsewhere for kind of similar situations. So, no, I look forward to receiving this, and reviewing it, and moving on with the process.
Great. We look forward to seeing it advance.
I'll also say, if you don't mind, as a former biologist and lifelong resident of Spokane, I am really excited at the notion of Chinook salmon coming back up into Lake Top Creek. That makes me feel proud as a Spokaneite.
Okay, thank you. And with that, we are adjourned.